What's going on, guys? This is Dante on another episode of Why Date, Season 4. Got my man Red Pill here, and his sister is hopping on today. Meg Not the Stallion. He told me to say that.
No, I love it. I love it.
You know, it's not the Stallion, not Meg the Stallion, but Meg Not the Stallion.
Meg's Not the Stallion.
So yeah, we got the brother-sister duo here. Perfect for this episode because she was there in childhood. So she was there during that time. She knows when you're lying, that didn't happen, so we can check you. So
I didn't even think about all that. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, you are fucked, my friend. You are fucked. You are fucked. Damn. All right. So this episode is going to be about childhood and how does it affect your relationship with dating, adult dating. Yeah. I guess it does affect people, childhood. I can see it being. I never really had issues, but this is good things to talk about too.
Oh, really?
But buzzwords.
No issues.
Oh, buzzword?
Not even a few. Not even like one or two.
So you did say a buzzword earlier about a good idea for me. I'm gonna put anxiety out there. Anxiety is the buzzword.
All right.
So if you guys just now tuning in, knowing what buzzword is, the buzzword is a certain word that we say. If someone says that, they're in a hot seat, which they can ask any questions. So it can be anything personal. The question we usually get every episode, is do you eat ass? That's usually what we get. I don't know why that happens every time. But, you know, I'm going to change my logo. Like, it have like an ass, like instead of a heart. Just put like that.
Oh my god.
But no, this is good. This is good. Anxiety. We'll keep it to 1. We're not gonna do 4 like last time.
Right.
The last episode.
That was hilarious.
I feel like that was all we talked about is buzzwords. We're all hitting buzzwords except me.
Yeah, I picked 4 different buzzwords, and they're all like words you would almost have to say to describe the topic.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, for him making anxiety the buzzword, and we're talking about childhood. Childhood and anxiety go together.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh, I just said
You can't say it after he says it.
You just said it. You just. That's your sister, man. Hey, you know what?
Redo. Do over.
Do over. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes. That was a practice round.
yes, practice.
Practice round. All right. We'll let it slide for now.
Save you.
But the last episode was talking about game. That was interesting. We had a good little topic.
That was a great episode. I do felt like I had to hold back a lot. Buddy.
Well, this is why we do recaps. The recaps kind of talk about you kind of listen to yourself, you listen to the episode. So if there's more you want to add on, you can. Or Meg Not the Stallion, you can also add into it. The game, little topic about how to, I guess it's pretty much about approaching or, I don't know. There was so many different things to talk about.
I just want, because I felt like, so I'm going to keep it real. Megan Not the Stallion is my older sister, and she taught me like 85% of everything to know about game.
Oh, damn. Oh.
And most of game, as we all kind of just know, is like, don't get hung up. Just don't get hung up over shit. Just don't be upset and don't ever quit. That's really it. That's all there is. Be confident. Don't get hung up over shit and just keep going. And I want to say she taught me in a nice way, but she didn't. She was kind of mean to me. And just make fun of me and call me stuff like simp, beta, and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, thanks, Coach. We'll talk about that on the trial.
Coach Meg. Coach Meg.
But I want Megan to give like her top 3 pieces of advice of game to women. Because I feel like we didn't cover that last time.
No, we did. We just it was all hot seat questions. We didn't really get to the topic.
The top 3 pieces of advice of game you would give to any woman who wants to stop getting played.
Yes, we need that.
I think one thing I learned the hard way is listen to the signs. I think as women, myself included, we think we can like fix a situation or fix a person, and we shouldn't have to fix the person. So if you're dating someone who's literally telling you like, nah, like I'm not trying to be with you, I'm not trying to do all that, but you're in your mind like, but this is how he makes me. No, listen to what he says, because men aren't like women. Men, when they say something, they mean it. Women, we kind of like say things and we kind of want you to like guess our minds. I don't know why we do it. We just do it. Like, I don't know. But we just do it. But one thing I learned is like, no, men mean what they say, and when they don't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you. So I think rule number one, really listen to what they say and what they do. Mm-hmm. Because if what they're saying is matching what they're doing, they don't want you, sis. Like, he said it and he shows you he don't want you. I think number two, he made a really good one. If every person you date, let's just say like you date and like these boys are hurting your feelings and everything, and you're just forever just like, oh, men ain't shit, men can't do this, and I'm just like, you'll never find a happy relationship. You'll never. If you let every man you've seen or date offend you in that matter where you can never date, you'll never be happy. So enjoy dating, enjoy the experience, and if your feelings get hurt, be a G about it. Honestly, we're 25. Well, I'm 25. We're young. We're gonna do dumbass shit. So it's just don't get hung up. Move on. There's other men. There's other men out there. That's like for me. I enjoy dating because I don't hold grudges. No person you are only dating, nothing ends well. If a relationship's gonna end, it never ends well. Someone's always feelings is hurt. You can't ever say like, oh no, it was a really easy break. No. That's what that person told you. Their feelings is hurt or your feelings is hurt. When you like break off, it hurts. Number three, keep it player.
Anyways, number three.
Number three, keep it player, keep it cute, keep it cool. I think with men, y'all get scared really fast. And if you're one of those girls that just like, you're going to be with me, you're going to do this, you're going to buy me stuff, you're going to do that, that only works on 10% of the men. And those are the ones that have no backbone, and those are the ones that like women who are in charge and everything. I'm not saying we need to be more submissive, but be cool. Like, if this is only the first month and you guys are just still texting and going on random dates, you don't need to be, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. Keep it cool. You'll get there.
Add on to that?
Yeah.
I agree 120%. And this is why I've always had that problem with, just state your intentions right up front. Just say what you want right up front.
You don't know what you want.
It's like, no, we don't know. I'm going to tell you, I'm looking for a girlfriend. I'm going to date you for a few months and realize you're not the one for me. You're going to be really upset. You're going to hit you with that, what you want in a girlfriend?
Exactly. It's like, yeah, but I don't be cool. Keep it exactly.
Like, part of being good at the game, right? It's a song and dance. Part of being good at the game is living with uncertainty. Being good at the game is accepting that I don't really know how this is going to morph in the future. And unfortunately, that's the best way relationships happen. It just has to be organic. Just let it happen. It's on date number one. So what are you looking for? Parking. I just got here.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
I don't even know your favorite color yet.
They want to know where this is, so they won't put their time vested into you.
It's too soon.
It's
way too soon.
They want to know. They want to know if you're gonna waste.
Yeah, like your first job. You're going to work is the first time you started working. You can't say you love the job yet. You only been there for a week. You don't know this is what you want to do. Like, so you can help here. It's not fair for women because the woman's like, I want you, so you just need to stay. Like, no.
No, and then girls are like, I hate this too. Like, girls will make guys seem like the bad guy for not stating their intentions. But it's like men just inherently know that we don't know.
I feel like the women who like to put their intentions and want to know intentions are always single. They've been single.
Wait.
I
feel like they're the most single women in the world. Like the ones who are like want the intention straight up and like very like, I need to know right now what this is. And they're still single as fuck.
Hella single.
You know what I mean? Like it's facts. And I'm like, this is why you're single, because like you don't like the answer that someone's telling you from the beginning. If a girl guys straight up like, look, I'm just trying to like expand. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think it just vice versa. If it were me, I'm sitting in the seat and a dude would be like, so what's your intentions? I'm like, to get to know you, I guess. Like, well, what do you expect? You're the one who DM'd me and now we're here. I don't know where this is going.
No, I
so
can't
I just
tell.
feel like that's something I noticed a trait with women where they're just like right away, like, what's your intentions? What is this? Now, I'm not saying you can't ask that. I'm not saying you can't wonder that because you niggas play way too much.
I mean, it's good to ask, but I think timing is a bit more important than opportunity.
Exactly.
I mean, like,
that's why I'm like, I don't think you need to be less than yourself, more submissive. Yeah. It's like I said, keep it player.
Yeah.
You'll know if someone's gonna rock with you. You'll know.
They'll tell you. You'll know, but like,
I
get that all the time. Like, what is this? What are we doing?
Like, if you want to have somebody rock with you, there's only two things you ever have to look at: consistency and frequency. Those are the only two factors. Consistency. Are they always down? And frequency, are they down often? That's it. That's all you have to worry about. Yeah. If those two things aren't met, they're just not feeling you that way.
Nope.
Right? Like, we know this. A guy who likes a girl, really likes her, we're clingy. Like, we're going to be talking to you, like, all the time. And then girls who really like a guy.
Y'all are not clingy.
We have to think about, like, my high school days.
We want to talk on it. No, maybe you want to talk about it. No, but I know for a fact men are not clingy. Like,
I don't really talk that much.
Like, they want us to stop talking.
Yeah, and I know. Yeah, I kind of like when girls talking too much. I'm just like, oh yeah, is that right? Uh huh. Oh damn.
Damn, he hit you with that.
That's just no dudes that really listen.
That's crazy. I hit you with that. That's crazy.
Oh damn, that's crazy. What's crazy?
If I hit you with that's wild, that's like I'll let it settle conversation.
Yeah. I hit you with that. When I'm talking about girls, I'm like, but just know I did not listen. I just hit you with that.
I don't know what you said. I tell Tony your voice.
Yeah, that should be my response. I don't even know.
Nod your head like,
All right. So on to today's
topic. Topic is going to be childhood. So it is. Does it affect your future relationships? Does it not? Because it could.
Oh, hella.
Does it?
Definitely
you think
so? It really because. I mean, everyone's going to talk about, you got to put that personal work in, you got to work on yourself. Most people aren't ever going to, so my answer is hell. It's definitely going to affect you.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't know, man.
It's everybody's experience is different. So, Markel has always been the womanizer. You always...
Well, people say that online.
Markel, you have a collared shirt on. No, we're not doing this. This guy's over here acting like this is true. Anyways. Anyways.
We're bumming it out here. He's still like looking like
a lot. He's a lot. Right.
Bumming it out here. You make me look hot with that thing on.
He's always been the womanizer, so I can see where your answer is coming from because you always just girls gravitate him. On the other hand, I did not date a lot. I was more like jockey, like I just wanted to play and everything. My dating experience actually did not happen until like 18. I was a lot older. Some people are just late bloomers. That's why I call myself a late bloomer. So from my experience, I can't say my childhood played a big part in who I am dating today.
Yeah.
I can't say that my childhood played a part because mine was more so of like, hey, Dad, I'm going to go to the basketball court up the street and go play for like a couple hours and then I come back. Like everybody in my eyes, that's how like innocent, I guess is the word. Like how innocent I was just like, no, these are the homies until you learn. Like, no, none of these guys want to be your friends. They're all trying to smash. Like,
so you're like, be a friend. So you're like Sanaa Layton in Love and Basketball. You kind of like
exactly. Yeah, okay. I wanted to be like the homies. I wanted to kick it all the time. Okay. I didn't think about dating. That wasn't until like later in high school.
But you knew the whole rule. You knew everything about what dudes did because you hung around with dudes a lot. So that's.
But
that's kind of hard for a lot of guys. A lot of pressure.
That don't save you none. Just that didn't save me none at all.
Yeah.
I just kind of think I knew how childish men could be. So I kind of knew what I didn't want to, what man I didn't want. Like, I didn't want to date no one that's like my guy friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe that's one thing I can compare to. So I can say, like, because I had a lot of guy friends, like, I ran track, so that's co-ed.
Okay.
So, and we've been running since we were 7. So I've always been
I didn't know you did track.
Who?
You.
Nigga, I did every sport: track, baseball, basketball, karate.
Sorry.
I even tried out for water polo. Like,
I didn't know. I didn't. News to me.
I guess I can say I could pull that experiences where I knew when I got older, where I was just like, oh God, y'all are so silly, childish, disgusting. Oh God, disgusting. Y'all know.
Art, burp, all that stuff.
Yeah, all that smelly. Oh God, you guys.
Hey, smell my fart.
So I just always knew where I was like, okay, I don't date no one like my guy friends. But that didn't say me nothing. I think everybody get played. You got it. That's your initiation. Is like, you gotta get played. you gotta get played.
I know. But you were the inside, but they probably didn't use you as a source. Like, oh man, she one of the guys. She don't know much about girl. You know what I mean? Like, they probably,
the guys like, source as like a wingman, like to get them girls.
Because you know, like you're a woman, you know, like, oh yeah, she's not feeling you. Did they ever come up to you like, hey, can you help me with certain? No, okay, see.
No.
See? That's how it was. We had one friend that was like that. We never asked her for anything. It's like, oh, she don't know. Literally, I'm almost positive that's what they would think. She one of the fellas, man. She played basketball with us. She don't have any girlfriends.
Exactly. I think I had to tell. There was like a moment where I remember I had to be like, y'all don't have to dap me up. Like, I actually was never comfortable because I always knew I was a girl. I knew I liked guy things, but I liked girly things too.
Yeah.
I just liked sports, but I always liked girly things. So I think one thing that did bother me about being a homie is like, don't dap me. you can give me a little side hug. I'm a girl.
They're like, what's up,
I'm a girl. Yeah. I have to remind them like I'm a girl.
I forget that times. We kids. I didn't know. I did dap you. I was like, okay, well, I guess we can get into the questions here. So.
That wasn't one of the questions, man. You just gave all that.
Yeah, she just went in. No, it's cool. It's all good. I'm learning more about my man Red Pill over here, so it's all right. I guess the whole intro is pretty much So when you were, I guess one question we got, when you were 10 years old, what did your mother and father teach you about relationships, or any other age? It doesn't have to be 10.
Where was I in 10 years old? 7th, 5th grade.
You're in 5th grade.
5th grade.
You're going 9, 10.
I think the one thing I really remember from like my childhood, especially like around that age, was just I started to realize just like how like kind of like aromantic my parents were. Like I didn't see them do a lot of PDA, and to this day I still haven't. Right? Like I've almost never seen them hold hands. I don't really ever see them kiss. Yes. Like I don't see like my mom will try and get some affection out of my dad. He's kind of just like, yo, game's on. Like he's like, well, hold up. There's people watching. You should be cool. Like it's so. I remember like around like 5th and 6th grade, I started noticing that. Like oh, and then my parents didn't really teach me much, but man, they really told me like you better not have a kid early. Of course I don't listen.
And then what did you do?
Of course I don't listen. But that was like the one thing I remember. I didn't know. I didn't know she was half white, okay? Like, I didn't know.
No, that was just like something Dad told you, right? Be careful when you go to like
So based on the experience you saw with your family, right? That's kind of how you learned. They didn't teach you much of anything. You kind of just saw. Observed. Yeah.
And like, I think some people like observe things when they're kids.
Yeah.
And then they either do two different things. They either do that exact thing or like do the exact opposite thing. And so, like for me, it was like growing up with my parents just not being very, very physical or not being very like romantic with each other. I was like, well, no. If I have a girlfriend, I'm gonna be super physical, super romantic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that actually got me a lot of trouble. Not in trouble, but like it got my heart broken like a lot in like middle school and high school because I was like super lover boy status. Like, oh, you're my girl now.
So you were.
I'm like writing letters and cards and do all this shit for you every single day. And you know I'm a writer, so girls are getting poems like every single week from me. It doesn't work, you guys. Only works in the movies. Don't do that. Like, don't ever write a girl a poem unless it's funny as shit. If it's not funny, don't do it.
I mean, I don't know. I guess for me, like my parents, well, my mom, because I kind of grew up with my mom, so I didn't get really much of the dad influence. But my mom didn't really taught me about anything about relationships. Actually, you know what I mean? She just worked, and I saw her go to home, and like, you know what I mean? I used to give her a kiss on the cheek. Oh, bye, mom, right? And then, stop that, But I think what influence I got from was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like Will Smith always pulling. He was always pulling, man. Even though it was a script. You know what I mean? Like I learned a lot from that as a kid growing up. I was like, oh man, he gets all the women, man. That's how it works.
Not a bad reference.
He got Nia Long.
It's not a bad reference at all because he was always truly himself. Even though he may be lying and trying to play, but that's like actually was himself. Like that was how he worked it. I feel like 10 years old, my parents, as parents, I don't think you should teach your kid at 10 years old how to date. That's just, but we also had strict parents. So I'm a daddy's girl, so I didn't tell them like if I was talking to a guy or something. So because they never, like I said, womanized. Everybody knew this guy had or a couple ladies. And I'm over here just like, I'm going to go play basketball.
They're so worried about you.
So they never really knew. So that is, again, I had a lot of things I learned through dating. I had to teach myself. Our parents were like that. They let us be kids. They didn't force that on us. Yeah. My mom is like super old school though. Black moms. Like no red lipsticks, red nail polish, short shorts.
See, my mom was really lucky. She didn't have girls, so she was happy about that. But she didn't really care about anything like, so she's like, I'm glad I didn't get no daughters. But I'm like, damn.
But okay, can I make a valid point? Because I feel this is triggering because that's what everyone thinks. Like, oh, my girl's gonna wild out, da-da-da. This is the nigga that had the child at 18.
What did I do to deserve that right now?
No, because of what he said, like,
they're gonna sleep around and walk.
Get home back and get pregnant and steal and do all these crazy, wildish teenage things. Are we more moody and sassy? Maybe. But you niggas do dumb stuff. And we don't always do dumb stuff. We just have an attitude 90% of the time.
Well, move on to the next question here.
Yeah, next question, please.
So we already answered pretty much question number 2.
Yeah.
Relationship with parents. So the other one is, have you ever dated someone who had daddy issues or mommy issues? How did that affect the relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have dated somebody with daddy issues, and it literally fits the stereotype, right? Like in areas you think it'd be a benefit, it's a benefit. And in areas where it's a detriment, it is a major detriment.
What does the stereotype look like of someone who has daddy issues?
Say a woman who has daddy issues. She is incredibly promiscuous, but she is always, always, always looking for the validation from men. And so if you can recognize early, I hate to say this, but if you can recognize early that a girl you're gaming on has major daddy issues, right? Yeah. You can kind of do the carrot and the string and just always hold it just outside her fingertips. Yeah. But it's also one of those things where once she has your validation 100%, she's not used to having real male validation. She's not used to actually having a guy respect her. She will move on. She will leave because this is the unknown for her. She's uncomfortable having a man actually be accountable. So she is going to move on to another man who is less accountable than you. It's crazy. It sounds weird, but that's what happens.
Wait.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to someone who's less accountable?
So a girl who grew up with major daddy issues.
Oh, okay.
Some of daddy.
I reversed it.
Girls who are close with their fathers do not spend time with men who aren't accountable. Okay. But girls who have really bad daddy issues or grew up just completely absent of any type of positive male role model will continue to bounce from guys who only give her a little bit of that validation to kind of give her like a drug kick. But she's not going to stick to the guy who gives her complete validation. That's the unknown to her.
I personally never dated someone who had daddy and mommy issues. Actually, the 3 boys that I had close relations with, they had both their parents in their lives. But what I can say just from seeing girlfriends or just friends, I also noticed when the girl, I guess you want to say, had daddy issues, a lot of times the behaviors that they pick up is actually from their mother. Because now you got to look at, why is your parents not together? Is it because your dad was an actual dickhead and like couldn't get right, and your mom is a G and she's like, you can go? Because that happens.
Right.
That's a thing. Or is it because your mother also was promiscuous and has 50 million and one boyfriends and falls head over heels and falls for the potential of a man and then is now like stuck? And a lot of times those behaviors, those don't stop. So now you're a child growing up watching your mom date all these men.
Yeah.
Why would you not do the same?
Just want to point out, a feminist would never say that. A feminist would never admit the mom would be a problem, ever.
Oh, they won't. They'll say dad. They'll say dad
Ever.
all the time. Oh, it's always
I'm a womanist.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but yes.
I'm pro women.
Okay.
Just women power.
Okay.
That feminist shit, that they get too far out there.
Yeah, there's some like militants, like feminists.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call them feminazis.
All men are just in it. Like, they're terrible. They're
Patriarchy.
I'm a womanist.
Wage gap.
Yeah. Well, wait. We're not gonna get there. We're not gonna go there. Wait.
I've seen that all the time. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I've had a couple arguments with a lot of hardcore militant feminists out there. So
yeah,
it gets.
You even had a one or two on the podcast at one point. But
we'll have one soon. That'd be interesting. All right. I think for me, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it can link to like daddy issues, because I've had dealt with girls that like had bad issues with ex-boyfriends. Maybe that was through to a dad issue. Like a dad was either like abusive or just a player, or, you know what I mean? And she just doesn't trust men. It could be a lot of issues. I never really got too deeply with my conversations with the women I was talking to. Like I always thought, like, in my mind, like, your past doesn't dictate who you are, but I guess it does for everybody. Everyone's different.
Right.
But you know, I just never like got so deep into someone's like life where I need to know, like, all right, I'll go by observing. And I'm like, oh shit, that's what your dad did. Oh,
word?
That's
wild.
Oh, that's right. That's why you're like this.
Like the girls you've dated, they were was it like very surface level, or that was just like a topic? Like, that's cool, because like some girls like overshare.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, my last ex didn't really have an issue with her dad. She was really close with her dad, so she looked like you said.
How long ago was your last ex? Just curious.
Why you do that? Why you gotta do that? Why you gonna do that, man? We have a good time on here.
You know.
We have a good time on here, just talking about other shit.
It's just yes or no question. More, or is it more than 5 years ago?
It's way more than 5 years ago.
Okay, we'll let it be now.
I have questions.
Right.
He said someone commented, Dante's last ex is when AOL came out.
Oh my god, that's so nice.
It's pretty close. That's pretty close. He's really close. I remember when it first came out, it was in a relationship.
Yeah.
A digital relationship.
That was kind of me. Whoever said that needs to apologize.
It was Josh. It was your golden child, Josh.
Hey, he's the golden child. Josh is the golden child.
Okay.
Man.
He also commented he likes Smoking Grooves, your shirt. Just by the way. Yeah. He didn't ever went to a show, but yeah, I don't know why he talks like he's been there.
Yeah. He's just
yeah, some people, like I said, I guess someone commented, a lot of times women who grow up with absent fathers will be attracted to men who are emotionally unavailable or distant. I guess that's true. I don't know.
I don't have daddy issues though, because I'm the daddy's girl.
I think if I had, and again, I'm not trying to project onto you, right? I'm just gonna straight up say it. My sister dates guys who are emotionally unavailable.
I don't know that until I'm involved though.
But I think the reason she dates guys who are emotionally unavailable is because we've never really seen our parents be very romantic.
I'm gonna have to say something.
Go ahead.
So I wouldn't say our parents have every relationship is different. Let me say this. Everybody's parents' relationship is different. You see some parents that are lovey-dovey and everything, but their marriage actually could probably fucking suck. But our parents, they're just, because of their own traumas and everything, I think my parents' love language is just different. I think they still show love, and I know how to read it. So like my parents' love language is quality time and acts of service. My mom's an act of service. Like she's like, "Are you hungry? What do you want to eat? I thought of you. I bought this." And my dad's just like, "Do you want to ride with me? Do you want to do something?" So that's how they show their love language. So I actually had this conversation with Dad where I think love language can be passed down. So now I think like my love language for me is act of service and quality time. Like, so that's why I agree when you're like frequency and like, was it consistency or whatever?
Frequency and consistency are the biggest indicators if somebody wants to be in an actual relationship.
So I just happen, okay, I can say like only one person has been emotionally unavailable that I got close to, and then was just like, that was that learning lesson, that learning curve where I was just like, you are the way you are. It's not my job to try to make you be nice or be kind or do what I need you to do so we can feel secure in this relationship.
Yeah.
I'll go. You do you. So I don't know why I attract that, but I also think men. So I can't say it's me. I can't say I go for them. I think men come for me.
So what's
and
the
I don't
common denominator?
I think men who are emotionally unavailable like my energy. They like how I make them feel. But because they're all fucked up in the head, they can't commit. And I'm one of those where I'd be bye, because you're not going to soak up all my positive and confident energy within myself because you're not confident within yourself. I actually think it's you're toxic, I'm not toxic type of situation. I think it's men are drawn to my energy. Men are drawn to me because I'm sure of myself. I'm confident. I bring stuff to the table. That's one thing about me. I know I can bring stuff. Maybe it ain't a lot of money. But there's other shit that goes on the fucking table.
The table ain't empty. Okay,
the table ain't, you gonna get fed. All right. Yeah. So I feel as though it's them, not me. I genuinely
so we're related.
I genuinely believe it's a them thing and not me.
So just to quickly add on to what Megan said, it's like halfway through her rant, I was gonna tell her she was wrong. And then I had to think about it, and I was like, you know what? I do attract a bunch of really, really, really insecure women.
Because you're very confident.
And again, people call me arrogant, bombastic, whatever, but in reality, it's just, I just firmly believe I'm gonna be okay. Like, nothing that bad will happen. If something really, really bad happens, I'll just get over it eventually, right?
I'll move on.
So I can feel Megan on that, where it's like, I've dated a lot of girls who, they really just love my energy. But it wasn't like we were exchanging energy. They were just like a leech.
Yes.
And it was like, look, man, like I am super powerful. My energy, my positivity is limitless. Yeah. And if I start feeling tired hanging out with you, that's a major red flag.
Oh, hey, none of that around here.
Hey, no. We're not gonna be leeches out here. We're not gonna be emotionally unavailable, non-committal leeches.
I don't know who that could be. No, it ain't me. I didn't even talk about me. I didn't even talk about me. Anyways, have you ever dated? Oh, okay, we already did that. Dated a mama's boy, daddy's girl.
No, I never did.
I did a daddy's girl before. It was interesting.
You know,
they're the greatest, right?
I have dated a daddy's girl.
They're good. They're cool girls.
And it was a great girl, but it was like
it was tough.
Way too much.
I do that.
Because
it was like, I'm sorry, I bring a lot to the table, but I can't fix for nothing.
I do, because I'm a daddy's girl, I do like when there's like resemblance of behavior where I'm just like, no. But that's because my parents are together. So, I guess like what I said earlier is just dead ass wrong. Like, I guess it does affect your childhood. Now that I'm like saying everything out loud, yeah. I never thought it really had an effect on my dating life until now we're saying that.
I mean, yeah, the only problem is what I deal with those daddy's girls. Like their dad is like looking at you like you know what I mean? Like it's that you know what I mean? It's that pressure. you get, and they don't tell you that they're daddy's girl either. That's the worst part about it. You don't know until you get into it. So you're like, oh yeah, this is my baby girl. Like da da da. And then I found out, oh, she's daddy's girl. I didn't know that.
You had that family dinner, and she said, "Daddy, that's the song, and you go reach for it."
Gotta make sure you take care of her. Because you know what I mean? Because everybody knows that's daddy's girl. Like everybody knows. Like the whole family. The only one just sitting there, like just looking around, like, oh damn. And then you find out, like, okay, yeah, she's daddy's girl. All right, let me make sure I don't fuck shit up.
It's hard because I'm close with both my parents.
So this is, I mean, it's hard to say with family, with parents, especially with siblings, my brothers. I feel like there's a certain, it's hard to say. If you're the youngest, because I'm the baby in my brothers, the mom is always going to love you. Their mom is going to love you, favor you a little bit more. And the dad will always like the firstborn. Like for some strange reason, like they have some kind of connection.
He's the first one to have his legacy.
Yeah.
First one to have the last name.
Right. So it's just, I don't know, man. Like I feel like it's just that maybe I could be a mama's boy, but my mom, like she's I'm the baby to her. So regardless of whatever how manly I am, my mom was always gonna call me the baby, which is like damn fuck.
He's grown, got a beard, everything. He's a baby.
I'm still the baby. My mom will still treat me like a baby every time. She said, I don't care how grown you are, you still my baby. The baby, the little one in the family.
You guys can get away with murder.
See, it's probably for him too. You're probably the favorite one. I'm sure. Parents don't ever say, "Oh, no, you're not my favorite." You know, I love all you children. There's always a favorite. They always.
I'm the favorite.
That's.
So I'm not even gonna front. Megan might actually be the favorite.
I'm the favorite.
Yeah.
But the reason my parents keep me around and put up with my shit is because they know I'm gonna fund their retirement eventually. So they're like, "Look, we can't kick him out because we know he has to fund our retirement eventually. He's the only one who thinks about money all the time." Like,
I mean,
so we need him to just be happy so he can give us money later.
All right, so we're gonna go into because I guess there was a certain section that was about emotional baggage.
Yeah,
that's his childhood experiences now. Do you remember witnessing? Man, stop highlighting stuff, man. Come on. That was you. So, do you remember witnessing certain things in your childhood that influenced how you felt and what made you attractive and how you go about life?
I'm a girl, of course I know.
Oh, okay, well,
I feel like guys is so much easier.
I remember.
I used to like chicken legs.
Everybody called me chicken legs, Megan. Anyways, no, not true. No, I just remember growing up. I was like a total gamer in middle school, like a really hardcore gamer. And so for me, it was like you weren't a man unless you were like 350 pounds of muscle.
Oh damn!
Right? Like if you weren't like this super jacked space marine, like you weren't a man. Yeah. And I grew very, very slim. Now I feel that a little bit, but at the time I was incredibly slim and I was very tall.
Yeah.
And so it was like I always looked in the mirror and was like, oh, I'm really unattractive because I'm not like this giant Ronnie Coleman, Arnold Schwarzenegger type dude covered in power armor with a giant shotgun. It was like I'm not a man.
Funny because I would have never thought like you thought like that.
I mean, I've been cocky forever.
Forever. He's like, always been a confident dude.
But it's like as a kid, I was just like, you know, like why can't I be this like super jacked Spartan off of Halo? Or why can't I go kill 100 dudes like Homeboy for Call of Duty? Like I thought I wasn't a man because I wasn't this like super hardened warrior who like had this super terrible life. And I remember like I grew up in the burbs, right?
Yeah.
I remember just like really, really judging myself and thinking I wasn't a man because I didn't grow up with like some incredibly horrible childhood.
Yeah.
And I thought my childhood was invalidated because it wasn't horrible. It sounds really crazy, and I carried that around for a very long time until I realized, shit, those are the cards that I was dealt. And in the end, I really don't want those other cards.
You know, man, it's so crazy. Like, for me, I feel like back then, if you weren't like a little dude that was like fighting or no thug or no crazy-ass dude, you weren't pulling any females. If you're not like because all the girls I was trying to talk to, they like dudes that were like just straight like fighting people, aggressive, like bad boys. They were out there just – right, just living their life with a leather jacket, riding a motorcycle out. You know what I mean? Like they're. So I always thought, like, man, damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right.
That phase
so we want no break dancer. We want someone who's street dealing right
now.
No
break dancer. You said break dance?
You still break dance.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. I just shit that no one.
I'm gonna have to see it.
Yeah, they're like, if you don't got a brick in your bag right now, I don't want you. Like, you don't got.
Do it. So and then
That's
I
what
didn't
I'm
know
like.
y'all had it that hard.
It's like, oh, you don't got a kilo on you? You can go. You can go.
I mean, and I feel like as I grew up and then into high school, that kind of changed. The bad boys were still around, but they weren't like bad boys who were athletes.
Yeah.
I don't know how that came hand in hand.
Late 90s, Rise of the Jock. Like,
Everyone was like, "Yeah, man, don't mess with him. He's a badass, man. He fucking like fought this one person last weekend at a party, and now he's gonna play football next day." Like, I'm like, damn, like, fuck. Do I gotta fight people to like? And I used to try to get hella mad. I used to try to get like hella tough. I was like, what?
So you're like,
Say with chest.
tough. I was
Like,
I was like, why am I mad? Why am I so angry? And I realized that's not working for me.
what was this?
'Cause I'm a nerd guy.
I'm
And
trying to think of certain things.
one thing I will say that I've definitely noticed, and it's something that I've really picked up on, is like now that like social media is like super duper big, like girls really just don't fall for the flex anymore.
No.
Like unless they're really just low quality women, like women really don't fall for the like back then. Like if you had some chains or you had at least 2 or 3 different pairs of Jordans, like you could really trick a girl into thinking you had hella money. But now it's like because social media is so out there, people are so used to seeing 2 different sides of people, social media and then in real life. Like girls don't fall for the flex, and authenticity is so much more appreciated now and valued now than it was then.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like only now am I really actually like not just like getting girls attracted to me, but actually developing somewhat of a meaningful relationship.
Yeah.
Because they appreciate the fact that I'm me and I'm not always just flexing something I don't have or I'm not.
I feel like a lot of that is true because we see, I mean, just growing up too, we can even watch like music videos, people flexing like hella cars, chains, all this other stuff. But I was like, oh man, I ain't gonna get that. So that was just that fantasizing type of thing. So, I mean, for the women, since you're the only woman on this episode today, we're gonna ask you: are those things true? Were you generally attracted to that? I mean, even from your end, from a woman's perspective too, like.
To generalize it, it's situational. Obviously, it depends on that girl or that person. It's really hard to speak for most. But yeah, I guess bad boys is the type. We want someone who's confident. We want someone who's going to protect us. We want someone who's a hustler, who's player, who's going to get it, who's funny, who's cute. Like everybody loves him. Yeah. But a lot of the times when you find out what comes along with that, there's a lot of people who hate him. So now when you ride with him, you in his bullshit now. And maybe he's not as mature because he's on all this other hype shit and he's dragging you down with him. So now both of you guys are bozos and both of you guys are broke now.
Bozos.
So it depends. It's like to find someone who's badass and really about their shit, it's a rarity because a lot of you niggas are flexers. And like you said, like a lot of like, you know, you guys, it's called fake it till you make it. So and there's a lot of girls who are down for the come up. But a lot of the times you niggas lie so much that it's like, okay, wait, you're telling me you made me think you have all this shit and you don't have nothing? And you want me to stay down with you?
It's like, I thought we about to die.
That's what happens. If you was up front,
stage left.
DMB, all we got.
First off, like, I had someone lie to me that someone lied, you know, the Gemini. He lied and said that he made me believe he had a car. And he lived in Hayward. And he made it seem like he had all this shit. And long story short, because it was only a very short story, actually. So come to find out, it was his friend's car that he would go borrow to come book it out here to visit with me. If you would have just said that from jump, do you know how I'd have been like, that's so romantic? Wow, like you would borrow someone's car, like your homies. No, you made it seem here. You lied that it was in the shop for fucking weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and all types of stuff made me drive my car back and forth. Pick your ass.
They're still getting working. They're working on an alternator right now.
Out there.
I can't get out there, and I drove a truck, so nobody wanted to drive that, and I had no receipt. And come to find out, Disney never had a car. And those other things.
Bay dudes, man, you got them Hayward dudes. Man.
So I can say yes and no. If you're a girl, and I like the word that you use, low quality. If you're a low quality girl, you're gonna fall for those low qualities. If you're a high quality girl, you're gonna see what's high quality and what's low quality, and that's that on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I mean,
That's that on that.
Task.
So that part where she's talking about, like when she started that little rant in the very beginning, when you do your little snippets for Instagram, you got to make sure that's the clip we use.
You know, man, I just randomly use that stuff. It sends me a notification just so you guys know. Okay, the app I use is Headliner. They send me random stuff, and I can't edit it. Like for some reason, I can't edit the clip. So whatever they send me, I'm like, I'll just use that one because it makes it for you.
The one they used, either was it today or last night or something. That one was hell of.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I don't want to get rammed on. I usually go, why do you say it like that? I just like,
ran through.
I was like, yo, if you did it, you'll get rammed on you. He's like, yeah, I'm not trying to get rammed on. I'm like, wait, you can't. Why do you say it like that?
Ran through. Nah, I ain't trying to get ran done, man. Damn. I don't like that. I don't like knowing somebody. I don't like when someone has an advantage of me like that.
But I actually want to point out, like, you can be about your shit as a woman and not hate men.
Yeah.
Like, you can be about your shit. You can know the game. You can respect yourself. You take care of yourself. And then not consistently look at men as the enemy.
Well, that's when you, correct. And that's when you start to notice, like, dating can be fun.
Yeah.
Dating doesn't have to be traumatizing. Dating doesn't have to be hurt feelings all the time. Sometimes it's, oh, he didn't text me today. I didn't text him. We just don't talk again. But if I were to run into him in the store, I'd be like, oh, what's up? What's happening? Like, you know, it's cool. But dating can be fun. It doesn't have to be traumatizing.
Man, everyone treats us traumatizing, man. I feel like, I mean, you say that now, but the girls, when they get a little older, it ain't fun no more when they're still single. They start getting a little aggressive these days.
That biological clock starts ticking.
Yeah.
That biological, it ain't fun after that point. So.
And girls always be like, oh, that's not true. We're not worried about that because we can have kids very healthily well into our late 30s. Yeah, but ain't nobody trying to have a kid though at 38. That's the thing. So even with modern medicine and you're super healthy, you can healthily deliver a baby in your late 30s, early 40s. Ain't nobody trying to kill a mom at 40. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the pressure's still there.
Yeah, so the clock's ticking for the women, especially they're in their 30s.
It's ticking.
Yeah, I think though.
He said lies.
That's when it comes. When it comes to the point though, like you said, like when you get in your 30s, well, I'm talking from. I'm speaking of it standpoint of where I'm young. I don't have to be nobody's wife. I don't have to be nobody's baby mama, and I don't have to be nobody's stepmom. So if I want to date and have fun, I can. But I think it does. It comes to a time where it's like, unless you're okay with being single and you don't mind that, cool. But there's a time where, and it happens to men too, where you sit down one day and you're just like, all right, maybe I should just stick to like one girl. And usually that's in your late 20s, early 30s. Men don't mature until their late 20s. It makes no sense for me to try to marry a man at age 25, because women are naturally more mature than men. So just because I'm mature at 25, men aren't mature at 25. They don't mature until they're about 28, 30, when they're done with their young phase, because men enjoy being young. Women get too stuck on that biological clock.
I ain't saying that there, huh?
Say it again?
It's hard to say, man, that women are more mature, man. The dudes, I don't know, man.
Again, have you ever dated a woman? Do you know what we're dealing with?
I feel like when I talk to certain women,
emotional stuff I don't think has nothing to do with.
I think what you're needing is like willingness to have a family and settle down.
I think that part. Yeah, I think the part that women are a lot more easier to settle down than dudes. I get that. That's true. That is a maturity. But communication
is it maturity?
It's a sign of adulting. Okay, let's just say adult.
Just because they're willing to settle down and start a family doesn't mean they're gonna be a good wife.
I guess I'm just talking from my personal experience. I generalized it, and I shouldn't have generalized it. It's my personal experience. I'm
just trolling a little bit.
Like,
I'm just trolling. We knew what you meant.
I was like, I guess. I'm like, men at 25, I'm like, they still in the clubs. They still going strip clubs.
That is different. I'm talking about the communication. I think like
we're talking about communication.
Yeah, because
I'm talking about overall behavior.
Yeah, certain communication I have factors. If I tell a girl the truth,
you cannot communicate at age 25.
If I tell a girl the truth, they just like flip out because like I feel like I have to talk to them or do a white lie just so they won't be irrational. So rational is a sign of maturity, right? Because one girl told me, like, how many girls do you hook up with? Tell me right now. And I told her, oh, that's gross. I'm like, well, you asked me for the truth, so I'm just gonna lie and say, okay, 2.
You should have lied. The answer is always.
That's what I'm saying.
Did I say always? What did I say in the group chat?
That's what I'm saying, though. Why do I have to lie?
What did I say?
That's what
I said.
like,
look, you want my real answer? Lie or don't say anything. Don't ever say the real number. Ever. I said you will.
First of all, don't
ever
answer
be
the
happy.
question.
No one will ever be happy with the number.
Don't answer the question. Rule number 1: don't answer that. You're making very valid points here. You're not wrong. If a girl comes around and you're on a date or you're chilling, she says, "How many bodies do you have?" Let her go. She mentally cannot handle whatever is about to happen between you two.
But absolutely.
So I can agree with that.
Yeah, that's like me lying to a kid saying that there's no Santa Claus. Like, oh, there's Santa Claus? I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta lie to him. His kid's like 10 years old now. He should know that Santa Claus isn't, sorry, Santa Claus. Did your son here?
That's a great comparison. That is a very valid comparison.
Is your son here, though? Is he hearing it? I don't want to ruin it for if he
Yeah. All right.
Make sure I say something. He's gonna walk in the room. But
the one thing I really want to say, though, it's like super important about the sexual dating marketplace is, and you're not gonna like this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
I won't.
For most women, their peak desirability, like where men want them the most, is between 20 and 25.
Yeah.
I would say for 80% of women, men will consider women, and there are a lot of women who carry that beauty well into their 30s, but they work at it day and night. Most women don't. Most women hit 25, 26, 27, 28. All those party years catch up. They're well into their careers or they're starting families. The gym and health becomes less of a priority. Staying youthful and young becomes less of a priority.
What does that have to do with maturity?
But what I'm saying is this. It's like, why don't men want to settle down when they're like 27, 28, 29? Because now they're peaking. Men don't peak in high school. Women peak at the end of high school up until 25. Men are just now starting to get their own place in the dating marketplace at 28 because they have 10 years of trial and error. So we just figured out how to learn how to talk to girls at 10 years of trying at 18, right? Or our testosterone's peaking at this point, right? We may or may not be hitting the gym. Women like men who are generally a couple years older than them, right? So at 29, if we're 4 years older, not a huge gap, still same generation, we talk to girls who are 25 who are still kind of hitting that peak. But around 25, 26, women hit a wall, and around 28 all the way to like 35, men are really starting to hit like the top of their peak because women like security. They do. So
I'm peaking. I don't know all these other women. I'm peaking. I'm starting now. I'm only going up from here. I'm getting better. So I don't know all this other like peak between 21 and 25.
But that's because
this year is my peak.
Right, but most women don't have that mentality. We've already let you know, most girls don't think like you. We've already established that. Most girls, especially at 25, 26, 27, they're settling down. They're really deep in their careers at this point. They're out of college. They're not college for a few years. They're probably having kids at this point, right? If they were just crazy party animals, it's all catching up at this point, right?
So men don't want to settle down because women are going to get fat?
Men don't want to settle down because we're just now getting women. At 25, 26, 27, guys are just now learning how to get women.
So then what was the point of bringing all that other stuff?
Because I'm telling you, like, the reason a man's not going to have that maturity, quote unquote, in his early 20s is because he doesn't know shit yet. He hasn't had a chance. He doesn't have a car. He doesn't have a house.
Back to what I said, women at 25 are more mature than men at age 25.
Okay, fine.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And then you proved it.
Right, but that's also why, like,
on our side.
So at that end, at that point,
I'm not saying you're not wrong, but I'm just saying I'm right too.
God, this is what happens again. It's like another me. Holy shit.
Too much.
Wait, moving on. My point was finished. That men don't want to settle down as they're nearing 30 because they're just now hitting their peak sexual marketplace.
Yeah.
And women outside of 25 are really into locking the men down because they know the walls.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can see that being that I agree with. There's certain behaviors, but I was like kind of like talking about communication. But yeah, that makes sense. Behavior wise, yeah.
I think even at communication, I feel like men cannot communicate. I don't think I'm right.
No. I think it's like you said earlier, a man will say what he means and girls just don't believe it.
You just said it already. You should just told her no. You should have said true.
We just say what we mean. You don't believe us.
Why do I gotta lie?
We're not bad communicators. Like a girl.
You guys can. You guys are bad communicators. That's just one part of the communication. I guess we can say we're at fault at. But you men.
So don't take men talking less total being as bad communicators. Just because we're not going to sit there and talk about 1,000 things we're not really upset about and avoid the one thing we're upset about, we're bad communicators.
If you're avoiding the one thing that you're upset about,
that's what women do. Women will talk about everything bothering them except for the thing bothering them. Like,
no, we straight up, we would be like, this is your problem, this is what's happening, why is it like this, what do you have to say for yourself? And then you're going to be like, but I wasn't chewing gum though.
I'm going to go answer that one part of the text.
So I think we're almost up on time.
All right.
So I'll ask one more question. I think the rest of the questions are using buzzwords, so I'm not going to say those.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, oh.
just say it.
No, I'm not saying it. No way. I was on the hot seat last time. It was terrible. Oh, who made that idea? All right.
Yes, deep question.
What red flags do people normalize because of childhood? That's a good one. Last question.
I have to think.
I would definitely say yelling and arguing and name calling, for sure. That is something that happens in a lot of relationships. You just go off on somebody because you just are upset. You gotta let them know how you feel. You just go off on your partner because you've seen your parents go at it your entire childhood.
Yeah,
that's fucked up. You don't do that. One thing I can say, and the one thing I can't say all my relationships have ended well, but the one thing that I have consistently and frequently brought to every real relationship that I've cherished, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
I didn't just go for someone's neck when I felt like going for their neck. Sometimes I might just hit them with a vicious one-liner, and I feel really bad about that. Yeah. But I never just went for someone's neck, ever. I didn't do any name calling, ever. I was really big on that. Never do any name calling. I never saw my parents do it, and I love that.
Yeah.
I've never seen my parents name call, ever.
To their faces.
I mean, that's a different story. But, like, in the heat of the moment, my parents have always done, like, when it just got to that boiling point, my parents have always just been like, all right, I'm going to walk out the room and we'll handle it later. And then the second thing is arguing in public. I've never been about that shit.
Okay.
To me, that's like number one disrespect. Like, I don't care how mad you are. You start some shit in public.
Should not be.
As far as anybody needs to know, we're the best couple in the room. As far as anybody needs to know, we A1, we golden, we the it couple. Jay-Z and Beyonce want to be us. That's it.
Jay-Z, Beyonce want to be
us. That's how I feel.
I'm gonna start saying.
So definitely one thing I picked in my childhood was I'm not gonna name call. I'm not gonna just come for your neck when I feel like I'm upset or I want to put you down. I'm not gonna argue in public. Ever.
Okay. Are you agreeing with everything he's saying?
Yeah, actually. I'm guilty of going the fuck off on someone and calling them out of their name, and he never talked to me again. We broke up and he didn't speak to me for a whole year. Deserved it. And we talked it and we're cool. Like, we DM each other and everything. We're still cool. One dude, I called him an asshole. He straight up was like, don't ever disrespect me again. But he was such a real nigga that I was just like, you're right. I shouldn't disrespect you.
I disrespect you.
One dude came for me. He was like, you disrespected me and don't. He was like, I don't tolerate that shit. He made it very clear. And I got checked. And I'm one of those, though. I'm very like, okay, you're right. Yeah, I'm doing too much. So I go and say only once. I've done that. Twice I've done that, and both times both those men set me straight. And so, like, I don't mess with busters. Like, my dudes, the dudes I mess with, they're about this shit. They're adults. They want to be treated as adults. They want adult things. So if I came out childish, I always had men check me like, you're being childish. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. I apologize for being outlandish. So I agree.
I think the only time, and I've had to check a girl, like, multiple girls multiple times, because whatever they just say something crazy like in public. That's my biggest thing. That's the biggest thing for me. It's like, don't ever embarrass me. Don't ever make me look stupid for walking around with you. Like, ever. And so multiple times the girls will say something, and I always have the same fucking line. Look, we're in public and we're here to have a good time. You're not trying to have a good time, we can go home separately. It's the only thing I'm gonna say is, like, I'm here to have a good time. If you're not here to have a good time, we can go home separately.
Yeah. I mean, that's
sometimes it's that simple. Like, I'm not gonna tell you what you are gonna do or what you ain't gonna do. I'm only ever gonna tell you what I'm gonna do.
And what you're not gonna do.
Drop your ass. It's like, right. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do right now. You keep on. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna dip. And you finna look stupid by yourself, or you're gonna walk home. And I hope you're far. Like.
Yeah, I'm definitely not open to the public shit too, man. That's too much.
That's like probably the one I agree with the most. I hate feeling embarrassed, and I'm one of those. I'll cry, and I'll make it worse because now I'm gonna sit here and cry.
I hate you.
I was gonna look bad on him, like he hit you.
I'm gonna be like, if you fucking yell at me in public, I'm going to be like, like I'm going to cry. I don't like it. I don't like that. Let's wait. And I'm one of those like, just wait till we get in the motherfucking car. Just wait till we get in the car. I'm like,
in the car. Oh, we fight now.
Right. Why would you say that? Why would you embarrass me?
He said, all right, now we can go at it.
Alrighty.
What about you?
Me?
Mm-hmm. What was the question?
What was the question?
Flags.
Red flags.
People normalize. I don't know. I mean, I can base it off of, I mean,
how do you feel about something that's normalized now is like the excessive like pictures and videos that are like of the relationship put on social media, like screenshots of conversations. Do you think that should be normalized? Are you okay with like the exploitation of your relationship?
It's hard. It's tough to say, man, because that's a lot of exposure, right? You're already out there, and then let's say if it ends really bad, that person has to take it all down. Everyone's gonna wonder what happened. They're gonna know all your whole business.
True.
I mean, it depends if you're dating like someone who's like an influencer, and they're gonna post that. But for me, it's just like, okay, shoot, I'm with the influencer. This is expected to happen. All right, like that gives you more of a motivation to kind of keep it there, because now it's gonna make me look like I'm the asshole. At the end of the day, like, it don't matter. She's an influencer. Like, you break it up with her, you're gonna be the asshole regardless. So it's like, damn, shit. Okay, all right, let me make sure.
But even if it's not an influencer, it's just you two are just regular 1,000, 2,000 followers, and she's like, you're in the kitchen cooking in your drawers, and she's like, oh, my man's in the kitchen cooking in his drawers, and post it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Put it on your story, you probably wouldn't care too much. But it's also kind of one of those things where it's like, you guys both follow me on it. Flashy. This mother effer doesn't follow me on Instagram.
Well, that's the problem, because then I got to do the same thing. I don't know if it's incentive for me to do the same thing and post it. So hey babe, how can you didn't post our pictures of us on Instagram? I'm like, all right. So that now, because like I'm not necessarily on it like super heavy. Right. So now it gives me obligation. I have to get on that level of exposure doing all the time. I feel like there's still like a push. For me, that's hard for me to say. Someone said, yeah, Dante, what's a red flag? Filipino girls that have natural booty.
He's not answering.
See, he don't even be answering questions. He's like, that sounds like giving up personal
beats. That should be normalized?
I mean, I'm trying to think what's a red flag that can be normalized. I mean, yeah, the fighting is one, but there's just one I could think of. I mean, it's, man.
Subbing. I don't think that should be normalized.
Oh, yeah.
Subbing.
So you guys are adding stuff. I can't even think of it.
That's a good one. Subtweeting. No,
I think a red flag could be, to me, is holding in feelings and emotions.
Holding?
Like,
yeah, like kind of keep holding back.
Letting something fester.
Because growing up, my mom did that a lot. Like, she held in a lot of our emotions and everything like that. That worked, and it was cool. But like, I feel like that you're not communicating with the person you're with. If there's someone that you're saying you kind of like, either you're fearful of that person or you're fearful of their response, and you don't say nothing. That could be a big red flag for me. I mean, just what I've seen. I don't think it works that well for that. Yeah. See, I got something to say. I answered it.
Sometimes we got to ask, though. So I asked once, she asked once, and somebody got me in the comments. So, like, how many times we got to ask you?
Other people got me on the comments. Yeah, Dante, what's your red flag? Filipino girls that have natural booty.
That's a big one. I mean, sometimes in the moment, you really have to just, like, suck it up, bucko. Like, you really have to just ignore something happening in the moment to, like, take care of it.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you just leave it there boxed up, you just don't ever handle it, that's bad news bears, for sure.
So, Josh asked a question. He said, will this be like last question, I guess. Who do you have to be to establish your clear boundary to prevent triggers?
Like, who do you have to be?
Yeah.
Alpha. Like, who do you have to be to establish clear boundaries? You have to be the person who wants to have boundaries. You have to be the person who understands not having boundaries is worse than having boundaries.
That's
Like, you got to be like, well, look, if I don't establish this line, this is going to be very bad for me and my potential partner if this line gets crossed. It's an alpha thing to do, whether you're a man or woman. Standing up for yourself and saying what you will and won't stand up for, that's alpha.
You agree?
You're an alpha chick if you do that. If you're an alpha chick and say, look, you're not going to do X, Y, Z.
That's true.
Alpha.
I guess you're right.
Okay. You agree? Fully agree?
But I think that's the only way to establish a boundary is that you have to state it.
Yeah.
You have to. A lot of times too, you never know what's a boundary until it happens. That happens to me a lot, where I'm just like a dude would do something and I'm just like, oh. First of all, I don't like how that made me feel. That was like some weird shit.
It's like an unknown. Like,
yeah.
You didn't know this was a possibility.
Yeah, and so then I have to be like, yo, like I wasn't feeling what you did there, and typically it's always a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't like how you did that, and then they probably explain themselves and it's like, all right, cool, but don't do it again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not with that. The whole, I think, setting standards, the boundary when you're in public. Like, you never know it's triggering until that happens. Nobody knows they don't like being embarrassed in public until, like, somebody does something embarrassing in public, and you have to tell them, like, don't you ever do that shit again. Like, what is wrong with you? So, yeah, but I don't know if that makes you alpha.
Well, that's an alpha thing to do because someone who's insecure themselves would never set the boundary, which keep getting hurt.
That's true. Okay, yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, either
That's
that or
like people, I mean, I know alpha is typically considered like a super like masculine thing. Alpha is masculine energy. It is on the masculine side of the spectrum. But it's not like consigned to one gender. It's a masculine energy trait to be self-knowing. That is masculinity, to know yourself. That's why hyper-masculine dudes are always really arrogant and selfish. That's all masculinity is to know yourself, and then femininity is to know the world. That's the best way to explain it.
What?
Yeah.
Why can't femininity be the best way you know yourself as a woman, and masculinity is the best way you know yourself?
Because we're not respected for gender. It sounds weird. Feminine and masculine are not tied to man and women.
Oh.
So everyone, like, imagine like you have like a weighted scale in your brain.
Yeah.
And some of it's masculine, some of it's feminine.
Got it.
Like you have, that's it.
It clicked.
Right. But
see, people said they like your boundaries, your method of setting boundaries. Alpha. Someone said alpha sounds familiar. Yeah, you that was a good answer.
What?
I don't know what to say.
be alpha.
Be alpha.
Be alpha. And everybody wants to know what is alpha is just knowing yourself and then setting your own boundaries for everything around you. And you can be too alpha. Like you can be too alpha. And you can be too feminine. Right? When you're because feminine is a reactive state. So if you're too feminine, you're always being emotionally reactive because you have no guards whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is the women, and it's not always a bad thing, but it can be. These are the women who, like, cry during, like, puppy commercials. It's like, that dog did nothing to you, and you're sad of some potential story that hasn't even happened yet. And it's like, that's a little too feminine. Like, you know what I mean? Anyways, but.
I'll peek.
It's really triggering over here because I'm still grouping feminine to women, but I'm over here trying to.
Well, feminine energy and masculine energy, right? Men typically have more masculine, women typically have more feminine, yes. But everybody has a mix of both. It's just like a different.
Got it. Yeah, I'm over here trying to make sure, like, in my mind. Like,
now look at
like
you just
black
did.
coffee and cold milk and someone knows a lot.
Markel, look at you just did, bro.
What? That's an argument or
I
what?
got a couple on there. I got a Hui and Kim on here. Yeah, alpha. She's like, oh, what happens if you're too alpha? What happens? Like,
what happens if you're too alpha? You die alone.
Nobody will like you.
Explode?
Nobody will like you.
If you're too alpha, you will die. Like, I hate. It's weird saying this. The most alpha, the most incredibly alpha, is like a narcissistic, arrogant psychopath. Like, these are the men who will only ever do for themselves and don't care what they're hurt and step on to get to what they want. That is the far, far end. Like, the farthest you could possibly go is like just incredible amount of just narcissism and Machiavellianism and just psychopathy.
Machiavelli?
That's the farthest you can go. And people who are just so fucking alpha typically don't have any true friends because they're not accountable, right? They typically don't have relationships with their family because they only look out for themselves and typically die alone because they can't stay married.
Alpha would think you're just too weak.
Yeah, if you told an alpha person that, they'd be like, no, you're just fucking weak. That'd be the response. Right.
Apex predator.
Okay. Like, do you think like a silverback gorilla gives a fuck what somebody else thinks? Like, no, he doesn't. Just smash you. Like,
get out.
He's like, what? You don't like this?
Hulk smash.
Yeah. He's like, I don't care about that.
Dang, you guys make it look like a freaking too much alpha. Like someone was just some crazy ass.
Some alpha siblings. What can we say? Like, you don't take shit from nobody.
I think that's just like
we just some ass kickers.
It goes back to like the subject of this whole thing where my parents really let us figure out a lot of shit on our own. Some people may think like that's bad parenting, but I think our parents kind of knew we had such strong personalities that it was okay that we could figure it out.
And
like,
thing too, like they never let us be soft.
Yeah,
they never let us be like
never
soft or like
pussy backs. Like
never.
my dad.
That.
Because I'm the crybaby, and my dad's the first one to be like, so what are you just gonna be upset about it forever and then just never be happy and you're just gonna live a sad life? And I'm just like, well, when you put it like that, I guess I might as well get over it. Like they'll tell you like it's not a big deal. My mom's very good at seeing both sides of things, but she's also my dad has a softer approach, and my mom's just like cutthroat. She's just gonna tell you how she feels, and that's your mom, and that's gotta toughen you up.
And I'm a mama's boy. I absolutely think that.
Absolutely.
So like, my delivery is always like, boom, boom, boom. Here are the facts. Deal with it. And that's it. I can be 100% wrong, but my confidence and my theory when I deliver it, like nobody wants to question it, which is kind of a detriment to me. Yeah. That nobody wants to tell me that I'm wrong. That's why I have my sister here. She'll tell me that I'm wrong. She's not always right when she says that, but she'll try. She'll do her best.
I'll try to make it wrong.
It's crazy.
Actually,
only person I can think of like who's super alpha is like Negan from Walking Dead. I feel like he was super alpha.
Yeah, he's like almost too alpha in the opposite way.
Yeah,
but didn't he like try to like after like try to be
I mean,
I didn't finish.
Well, he did it to survive. He was only nice to live. If he would have never just changed on his own. I never
continued to watch. I stopped at the part where he started to turn nice.
If Homeboy still had his crew, he would have never turned nice. He's alpha.
No, yeah.
Like,
that's a good example. Yeah.
He's just too alpha. The opposite.
Yeah, he was like,
I feel like only alpha people.
Think Darth Sidious from the Emperor from Star Wars.
Yeah.
From Star Wars, the Emperor from Star Wars. Like he was just so alpha the opposite way. He would just destroy entire planets he didn't like.
He's like, y'all too weak. Blow him up.
Thanos. He killed his
Thanos alpha. Oh my god. Thanos.
I'm sorry. Thanos is in my eyes. He's OG.
A soul for a soul.
Yeah, he was just like, was it worth it? Yeah.
With his aftermath, he looked like he was kind of weak. He was like, well, I did what I did with the Infinity Gauntlet. That's
literally killed half of the universe, half of known existence, just so his own ideals would go.
Snap his
fingers. I think half the motherfuckers gotta go.
Yeah.
Like he just snapped him away. Turn to pixie dust. Like, wow.
I was like, man, why did he do it? He killed half of. You mean he told me he killed half of people on the Earth?
Yeah.
I think like
no, not Earth. It was
definitely the Iron
Man. Universe. Was it universe? Or
no, because Alpha would never sacrifice himself like that.
That's true.
Like that far over.
Like that's something like Iron Man would do just to make himself look
good. Do it.
Beta.
Yeah, like it would be on something like I'm gonna make myself look good.
Iron Man's a beta. I'm gonna say it right now. Iron Man's beta.
Oh, for real? You really gonna say that?
He's beta.
I felt like Captain America was alpha.
He was alpha, but he was kind of a bitch boy for Bucky. I'm not gonna lie.
He turned into alpha, after he became Captain America.
If they had just killed Bucky, like Captain America would have done the right thing every single time.
Yeah.
But because Bucky was alive, he had to question his own morals. Alphas don't question themselves.
Nah, that's true. That's true.
They just snap their fingers and kill half of everything.
All right.
Yeah. They didn't fuck my daughter too.
He's like, yeah, still off a cliff.
Like, yeah, she doesn't matter. She's dead weight to me.
Yeah. Pulling back from being more alpha.
You mean if I push her off the
wait.
So you mean if I push her off the cliff, I can get a glowing rock?
Hey, you know who was alpha as fuck? I'm not gonna lie. Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, that motherfucker was alpha.
Yeah, Vegeta, especially when he first came on the scene, alpha.
He came in there like
the way he just iced his homie Nappa like that.
He threw that man up in the air and blasted his own boy.
He was like, "Oh, you just lost the fight? All right, I'll kill you then." That was his boy. It was like,
You're paralyzed sane. You're out of here.
Cell was pretty
God, no wonder you
alpha. Cell was
know
pretty
us.
alpha. Cell was alpha. Goku Black's pretty alpha. No. Oh, what's dude's name? Jiren.
Oh, Jerry, yeah, for sure.
Fuck, dude.
For sure.
That
All right, we
dude
get
was
kind of
alpha
nerdy
shit.
here.
He was like a good alpha. He was like, I got my squad with me, but I'm still number one.
He's like, yeah, I'm still gonna handle shit. He literally
I have no idea what you're talking about.
he literally meditated through half of the shit though. How you gonna meditate through the rest of the whole shit? Y'all wake me up when you got down to the last 10 people.
He basically was like, wake me up when you need my gangster. Like, that's it.
Y'all too weak. All right, so I guess I don't know. We kind of answered some of these questions already.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. I think that's a.
anything else you need to add on there? Anything else?
No, just don't be soft and just know at any point you can get over shit.
Keep it player.
That's probably better.
Someone said
Keep-
Bulma was alpha. Yeah, Bulma's
Who?
different. Bulma, and she's able to tame an alpha himself.
Yeah, she was an alpha chick for sure.
She's able to tame
Chi was an alpha chick too. It's Goku's wife.
GT. Nah, Vegeta whack.
Yeah, but no, wasn't it Chi Chi who like got Beerus mad? Or was that Bulma?
I think it
I know
was.
one of them pissed him off and he smacked her up, and then Vegeta went crazy.
No, Bulma was smarter than that.
Y'all were watching as kids.
I think Chi-Chi was doing
Oh,
stupid
that
shit.
episode came on.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The new one, the one that no one cares about.
Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah. That spinoff was like a fucking Boruto. The bad
Hey,
spinoff.
OG Vegeta, OG Frieza. He was pretty alpha.
Yeah, he definitely was. Yeah.
All right, but let's.
We get a little nerdy. I know. It's just
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
we don't sign
like,
off.
I literally was like,
we're getting too into.
Don't text and mention.
You know, just some people on here that ain't even listening. Like, what are these guys talking about? But all right, I appreciate you guys coming on. I appreciate you guys coming on, Meg. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having
Sure,
me.
it was great.
It's good to have you. Hopefully, have you again soon. I hear
Yeah.
you good
Might
comment.
even replace me if I can't make it. We'll see what happens.
I live next door.
Knock on the door. We've been trying to get you on, but just the timing was wrong. We're like, oh man, all right, we'll get it next time. So
Yeah.
it's
But all right.
But I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for all tuning in.
Brady Twins out.
Yes. See you guys later. Till next time, next episode.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Oh, I didn't see you there. Hey, this is going on. This is Dante from the Y Day Podcast, the host, and hope you guys like our content on the last episode. And just letting you guys know that we are going to be posting everything on our website, www.ydaypodcast.com. And for all the information, you can go on here. I know if you guys already looked on the video, it's on YouTube. YouTube episodes are on here. Everything on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, Google Play, all that is on there. Now, another thing we also are giving out for a lot of listeners who's been listening for a while, we actually have a Patreon. So a Patreon account, if you donate, it's a $5 tier of $5 a month. What we're going to be giving you is some exclusive content, which is going to have 30 to 45 minute Q&A before the episode. So if we typically have a guest speakers on there. We have a love coach, relationship gurus, motivational speakers. So you got the Q&A time within 30 to 45 minutes to talk to them before we do our episode. Or if you want to talk to any of us, some of the speakers on there, the co-hosts and things like that, we also open that up for anyone out there. Also, we're going to be having an exclusive giving out the prior episode. So we're going to have the episode and you're going to have the first leak of the episode before we even put it on to everybody else to see. So that's all we have. It's just $5. It's a very small number. I know most people are, got other investments, whereas Netflix, I'm not competing with Netflix or Disney Plus, but it's something that we're giving out for you guys here. If you want to tune in there, that's also on the website. I'll put the link right down here. So it's www.ydaypodcast.com. And now I'm going to get back to my work. So if you guys want to kindly just, scatter